Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to give you a quick summary of climate change and the present day. And as always, check out the description box below to a free worksheet you can complete while you watch this video. So, when we're thinking about climate change, we have noticed that it has become a very hot topic in mainstream media, particularly in the last few decades. And the reason for this being that our planet is rapidly warming and it cannot be explained by natural cycles, which normally happen over hundreds of thousands of years. And instead, it's happening on a much shorter period of time. So, what are recent temperature records actually telling us? Now, there's loads of scientific data out there when we concern ourselves with climate change, but one graph that I like to look at is global land surface temperatures. And this is the graph that you can see on the screen. Now, this particular graph is showing us, like I said before, average global land surface temperatures since 1880. But as you can see on the left-hand side, it says temperature anomaly. And what that actually means is that this graph compares average global land surface temperatures from 1880 up to about 2020. But we're comparing to the average that our global land surface temperature has been in the mid-21st century, which is about 14 degrees Celsius. So the zero line on this graph is indicating a 14 degrees Celsius average. So when we are above the line at 0.2 or 0.4 temperature increasing, we need to be adding that value to the average of 14 degrees Celsius. And alternatively, when we're below the line, we're going to be deducting temperatures from that average. So if we put that into practice, let's take the year 1997 as an example. The graph tells us that the global land surface temperature anomaly for 1997 was about plus 0.5 degrees Celsius. Now, if we take the global land surface temperature of 14 degrees Celsius that was taken between the period of 1951 and 1980, we can now calculate what the global land surface temperature was in 1997. So by adding 14 degrees Celsius and 0.5 degrees Celsius together, this graph is telling us that the global land surface temperature in 1997 was 14.5 degrees Celsius, which overall shows us that we have an increase of 0.5 degrees Celsius. So looking at this graph in your own time, think about what else you notice. When did this warming period begin? When have we seen increasing temperature anomalies above 0 degrees? When have we seen it happening below the average? When have we seen a decrease in the average? What's the overall trend this graph is showing us? These are all questions that you should be asking yourself as geographers. So, if we start to think about reasons for this rapid warming, we need to concern ourselves with a little bit more data. So not only do we need to look at temperature of our planet over thousands of years, but we also potentially need to look at CO2 or carbon dioxide emissions, parts per million in the atmosphere. And if you look at the graph you can now see on the screen, we can see a real close correlation. Because when we have an increasing temperature, that corresponds with increasing levels of carbon dioxide or CO2 in the atmosphere, especially since the Industrial Revolution. Now, recent temperature records are also showing us higher figures since records even began being taken, with the warmest years on record taking place since 2001. So scientists believe that the Earth's average temperature is increasing as a result of human activity, such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, transportation, and food production, which all release greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and are accelerating the warming of our planet. So today, when we hear the phrase climate change, we are referring to anthropogenic or man-made climate change. So I hope you found this short summary useful. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe if you do, and I'll see you next time.